Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Kapil and I'm a part of marketing team at EDB. I'll be your host today for today's webinar, how to load and visualize spatial databases in PostgreSQL. I'm joined by Mansur Shaikh, who is the senior sales engineer at EDB. Before we start with today's session, here are a few housekeeping announcements. First, the session will be recorded. We will share the recording along with the slides with you after the webinar. We have muted all the lines throughout the session. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat box and we will answer them towards the end of the session. Since all of us are currently working from home, there's a possibility that we might face some connectivity issues, especially because today's webinar will be demo based. We request your patience in case of any such circumstances. Now, without further ado, over to you, Mansur.
Yeah, thank you, Kapil. Let's spatial data loading and visualization using PostgreSQL. So in this today's webinar that we'll discuss how to load a spatial data into PostgreSQL using PostGIS. PostGIS is an extension on top of Postgres. Last time we had discussed NoSQL capabilities and the foreign data wrapper. In NoSQL capabilities, there was a JSON data types, as well as we have seen that how foreign data wrapper helps to pull the data from other data sources like MongoDB or other data platform, and how it is useful for building your warehousing application or analytical applications. At the same time, we discuss about PostGIS. PostGIS, how it helps to load a different kind of data, either it is raster data or any geometry type of a data we have discussed. In today's webinar, I am going to discuss how to load the data. And for that purpose, that is one of the spatial database capabilities in PostgreSQL that PostgreSQL gives PostGIS extension. And the PostGIS will help you to work on a spatial data. Either it is a geometry data, polygon data, or any vector data, we can work on a PostGIS. And for that purpose, the important thing is that we have to load the data. Either there is a shape file is there or any type of raster data is there. That first you have to load into the PostGIS. And when we will load into the PostGIS, that means we have to load into the PostgreSQL. After loading the data, we have some of the open source desktop tools or command line tools are there that will help you to visualize the data. Here, some of the terminologies, first of all, I'll explain that we have the QGIS. QGIS is a software which is an open source desktop GIS or client-based GIS application. That first of all, we will install the QGIS, and by using QGIS, we will load the data into the PostGIS. While loading the data, we have to make the connection with the PostgreSQL, and then whatever the shape files that you have to select and we can load. The QGIS is a very popular open source desktop application that will help you to do some analytical GIS applications are there. There are other GIS applications are there like ArcGIS and many more. So in this, as QGIS is open source, so I will be showing that one. Now, enterprise GIS, you know that an enterprise GIS, an integrated GIS system accessible through organizations, that is nothing but through the enterprise GIS, we can monitor the data, we can analyze spatial data. And nowadays, as a spatial database, the operation on a spatial database is a very complex, and most of the enterprise GIS databases or proprietary databases, their cost is the $1 million cost they want and they require. But as an open source PostGIS, it is open source, freely available, and it provides different types of operators and functions to work on a spatial data. When I say the spatial database, that spatial database is a centralized location for storing spatial data. And the spatial data, any type of a spatial data, as I said, of geometry or geography. For the spatial database, the spatial features for dealing with spatial data and analysis. So when we store spatial data in the spatial databases, to do analysis, to work on spatial data, to access the spatial data, or to insert the spatial data, we should require a spatial features. And QGIS or other applications generally, they provides that mechanism. And apart from that, The spatial SQL, it also helps you to build the queries to work on a spatial data. At the end of this session, I'll show you that how we can build the spatial queries. Then, as I said, PostGIS an extension to existing RDBMS to handle the spatial data in PostgreSQL. And when we create an extension on top of PostgreSQL, that's create an additional layer on the RDBMS software, and which will provide uh, to handle work with the spatial data, or to you can handle a spatial data. Here in this webinar, I am also showing you that how to download the PostGIS and how you can install it. So for that, PostGIS is a spatial implementation of a spatial data built on PostgreSQL database, which is open source, which allows for storing, managing, as well as analyzing the spatial data. And definitely PostGIS is an highly standard base, because OGCA consortium, it is standardized. So any government industries or any environment applications are there. You can download the shape files from anywhere. That is, there are a number of websites and web portals are there. Yeah, definitely there you should have to accept their terms and conditions. Once you accept the terms and condition, you can download the shape files. You can load into the PostGIS and you can operate that one. So we will discuss that how to load the shape files. I'm going to show you the different ways of loading shape file into the PostGIS. Let me show you. Now, before that, some of the data uh, which is of a geometry type of a data, which works on X and Y coordinate, which is definitely for plane surface. So this is one of the spatial data type. Then we have the geography data, which works on this round earth, so which has a longitude and a latitude, where we can calculate the distance between two locations, we can calculate the area of a map, and many more functions we can do with the geography. Then we have the raster data, that is nothing but the blob objects are there. And these blob objects we can put into the PostgreSQL by using raster to PGSQL. That is a utility. By using that, we can load this data into the PostGIS. And then we have the topology and we have the map, polygons are there. So there are different data types, or the data which is where these type of a data are the spatial type of a data which we have to load into the PostGIS and a PostgreSQL. And after the loading this data, either it is a geography data, then we have the spatial SQL. We can work on the spatial on this data with the help of spatial SQL queries. Now, see, PostGIS multi-part geometries array of individual geometries. Here, point is in a PostGIS data. Then multi-points are array of individual geometries, line strings. So connection of multi-points build a line string. Then multi-line strings are there. Polygons and multi-polygons are there. So this is the spatial data. So in this loading of a spatial data, I'll show you that the shape file which contains point, line strings, or the multi-polygon or multi-point, that type of a data we will be loading into the PostGIS. So PostGIS, PostgreSQL, and the QGIS installation. So first of all, I'll show you that I'm not going to install in the PostgreSQL. Just you go to the either open source postgresql.org site, or you can go on enterprise DB. Let me show you that. Just open and you go into enterprisedb.com. I'll show you that first of all you have to install PostgreSQL, and after installing the PostgreSQL, you can install the PostGIS by using stack builders, or directly you can download the software PostGIS and you can run it. So here, just click on download. And when you click on download, just go to the PostgreSQL. When you click on a PostgreSQL, just click whatever the version you want. So there are the latest version or old versions are there. So I'm going to install 11.2. I have already downloaded these softwares, and either you can choose Windows operating system, Mac, or Linux as per your convenience. So I have installed interactive installer for Windows x86. And after installing the Windows x86 software, what you will see that, see, let's then you can just go on the download, and you will see that you have installed the PostgreSQL 11.12 Windows. Just right click and just run it, and you will get the PostgreSQL to be installed on your machine. After installation of a PostgreSQL on your machine, then your second part is to install a PostGIS, and there are different ways to install the PostGIS. So first, for that, so either you can download directly from the website, or here is a link where you can download PostGIS. And then we have the www.enterprisedb.com and download the PostGIS. And another mechanism is that there is an application stack builder. Application stack builder will help you to download a number of add-on components. So what I will do here, I will just close this one before that and see how to run the stack builder. So when you run the stack builder, so after that you will get this screen. Here, when you run the stack builder, add-on tools, utilities, either you can install EDB language pack, PG agent, PG bouncer. These are the plugins or add-on components, as well as the database drivers. Some of the database servers like EDB Postgres advanced server, then replication solutions. If you require directly click on it, it will expand and you will load that component, or you can install that component. Here in my case, I'm going to install PostGIS 2.5 bundle for PostgreSQL 11. So what I will do directly, I'll click on a spatial extension, as this is a special extension for a spatial database. Just click on it and go on next. You will find out that PostGIS will be installed on your machine. Now, later on, what you have to do, so just you can check here as well that the PostGIS is installed. Once it is PostGIS is installed, then you have to create the extension. For creating the extension, again, there is a PostGIS extension is required. What I am doing here, so let me show you on my machine. So before that, I'll start my pgadmin 4. So I hope just I'll bring. Just what you have to do, that click, type pgadmin and click on pgadmin 4. When you click on pgadmin 4, you will find out that the pgadmin 4 is started. Here I have already registered two server, that is a PostgreSQL and PostgreSQL 11. So in this case, I am creating the database. Already I have SDB course, SDB EDB is there. So first of all, I'll create the database, and I'll make that database spatially enabled. To make that database spatially enabled, you have to run the PostGIS extension. And for running the PostGIS extension, you have to download the PostGIS software. So as I have shown you that you just install PostgreSQL. After installation of PostgreSQL, run the stack builder, download the PostGIS software, and after that you can able to create an extension, that is a PostGIS extension. I am creating one of the database here. So what I will do, that I'll give the MyDB as a database name. Just let me check. Let me start again. I'm closing first. Yeah, just might be there is some issue. So what I will do, that I will close my pgadmin 4 again, and then I'll install again. I'll start it again. So as I said that this is my Windows machine, and first of all, when you install PostGIS, so you'll see that PostGIS 2 shape file and DBF loader exporter here. Apart from that, you have some all apps. When you click on all apps, you will find there are some PostGIS shapefile, PostGIS manual code line, PostGIS PDF documents, and PostGIS website and PG routing 2.2 manual. So then as well, you will find out that uh, there is a go to C drive and program files. In the program files, PostgreSQL, go to the 11. So in the PostgreSQL directory, you will find in the bin, go to bin directory. Here are some utilities, that is a command utilities will help you to load the data. So I'll show you some of the utilities are here. See, there is a raster to PGSQL, then shape to PGSQL. Directly, you can run these command utilities and it will help you to load raster to PGSQL as well as PG shape to PGSQL data. And then we have some other tool, that is you can go at top and just run PostGIS GUI. So shape to PGSQL, we will be loading a shape file into PostgreSQL by using this utility. And first of all, you have to create the database. Let me open my pgadmin 4. So it may take some time. As well as by that time, and then it will ask for the password before starting. So my password, I will give the password for that one. And then save this. So I can expand any of the server. I have expanded it. Now I'll create one of the database. So I'll create my test. My test is created here. After creating the database, I will go to, I'll expand the my test. You can find out that in the extension, it is a PLPGSQL, which is useful for your writing the procedures and functions. That is a language which is available in PostgreSQL. I'm not seeing here some of other extensions because I have not created any PostGIS extension yet. And then as well as some of the schemas, and in that schemas I have tables. No tables are there. Then what I will do, that I'll go to that particular, I'll start query tool, then create extension PostGIS. I'll just run that query. I ran the query. Now the database which I have created, my test, it is specially enabled. How you can verify? Just refresh it. When you refresh it, I will see the PostGIS extension. Earlier, there was only one extension, PLPGSQL. I have created PostGIS extension. Now I can see, or I can view the PostGIS extension which is created. Apart from that, I haven't checked the functions, and before creating any PostGIS extension, you will not see any functions. But now it is a specially enabled database, so there are a lot of functions, around 1200 functions that will be created, and these functions will help you for working on spatial data. So you can write the data, you can write the queries, you can select the data, you can do operations on these PostGIS data by using these functions. So I have here drop raster constraints, and then raster constraint PostGIS statistics, or just go to downside, and then I can see many more functions are here. just go check out me. Then there are geography functions are there, calculating the geography distance or calculating the distance between 2 points, and the geometry functions are there, or path, PGIS functions. So raster overlap functions are there. So that function will be created once I will enable my database. That is the spatial database, which I have now. The name is my test. Now what I'm going to do, that I will run a utility, that is sh PostGIS shapefile to dbf loader. That utility will help you to load shape files into my database. The database which I have created here, my test. So let me just view the connections, view connection details, and I'll just give the username Postgres, password, whatever I have given the password during the installation, and my database is my test. So I'm just checking the connection. So the connections is successful. So it will connect to my test database. And after that, what I am going to add some of the shapefile into my test database. So I'll just do add shapefiles. Here, there are some shapefiles I have, that SDB data. If I expand the SDB data, then I have bolynest.shapefile, bolyhabitat.shapefile, then GBH Rookeries, linear projects, and rapture nest. So these are the shapefiles. In that shapefiles, any type of shapefiles that stores the information about your uh, GIS data, geometry data, geography data are there. Either it is a point data or it is either it is a polygon data. So by using this PostGIS shape import and export utility provided by PostGIS, I'm going to load these two files. So I'll select first one as well as two files. I'll open it and I'll add this file. When I'll add this file, I can see these two files which I have added, and there is a spatial reference ID. That is a spatial reference ID. I'll explain at later stage. That will help you for your coordinate system in the in the GIS. So I'm giving you a spatial reference ID 4326. Any number you can choose, as it is a common number. So most of the GIS professional, if you are working on a GIS, most of the GIS developers are there. They might be knowing about what is a spatial reference ID. So I have typed here, and after that, what I will do, that I will import these data files into my uh, database. So just let me, yeah, so shapefile import completed. That is a point, shapefile is a point, PostGIS type point 2, and the configuration body nest, geography, that is a data, and then poly habitat, that dot shapefile type is a polygon, and the PostGIS type is a multi-polygon 2. I have imported this files into my database. Just now, I will cancel it, go to my created database. When I'll go to my database, so just I have the tables. In my tables, you will see that body nest and body habitat, the two files which I have selected, it is loaded. Or I can view that data. So just say view data, all rows are selected, and I can able to see this data which I have loaded in my database. I have geometry column, nest ID, and see if I want to see the geometry column, I just click here. I have the point data which is already loaded. Go to the poly habitat, and then I'm going to select all rows. Again, I have installed, that is a polygon data type. Just click on a particular column, select it. Yeah, this is the definitely it will help you to calculate the distance or some of the state highway which is coming in a particular area or not. That is the function which you have to write. Just the purpose is here to show you that how this polygon or multi-point is stored into my database. That shape file is loaded into my test DB. Earlier it is only the database. I have enabled it as a PostGIS database. I make it by using the extension. I made it by using the extension PostGIS, and now the body habitat is the shape file which I have loaded. Now another method that we have the QGIS, as I said, QGIS is another method that will help you to load the data into your PostGIS. So I'm going to run my QGIS. So before that, I'll show you that how to install the QGIS. So in short, okay, I will first run the QGIS first, and then I'll show you how to in QGIS later part. See, I have installed my QGIS in my machine. QGIS is a open source desktop for the GIS applications or the client-based application where you load the data, you can visualize the data. I'm starting my QGIS application here. Yeah, it started. Now just, so this is my QGIS application, and through the QGIS application, I wanted to load my data. So first of all, check the connection. I have PostGIS here, but I'm not able to see my test database. So I'll create the connection. For creating the connection, just make a new connection, give any name. So I will give my test localhost, and the database is my test. So I have given a host port database, and I'll give my credential that Postgres PG123. Just click on OK. So my test is, I have created a connection with my test. Now before that, I just, the file which I want to load, so that I will visualize, I'll see that file. The files are in my desktop, and this is my SDB data. Just one. So these are three files which I have. So I'll bring on a panel that I have added the file. After that, I have database DB manager. By using DB manager, I can import the files. So before that, I'll go to the PostGIS. I'll select my database. Just hold on. Yeah, sorry, my speaker is on mute. So I have just adding the second file. So I have already added GBH rookeries. Now linear projects I'm going to add, or you can create the indexes if you want to create indexed while loading the particular objects into PostGIS. You can create the index as well. Then I'll select rapture nest file, and then okay. After that, I have loaded three files. I'll just refresh it or my test. See, rapture nets, which is a point type of a data, or you can just click here. You will find out that the geometry column is joint geometry. Geometry is a point, and I have stored this one. Then GBH rookeries. In the GBH rookeries, I have the multi-polygon dimension 2, that is X and Y axis. And then I have other, the body nest, which is a point. So now I have loaded how much files, that 5 files, 2 earlier by using the shape to dbf exporter command line utility I ran from the directly here. And then I have used the QGIS application. By using QGIS, I have loaded these 3 files. Let me go to my pgadmin 4. Then I'll verify there that whether these files are loaded or not. So just hold on. That is a my test. In my test, earlier I had 2 files. Now I have added 3 more files. So what I will do, I will go to my public schema. In my public schema, earlier there were body nest and body habitats are there. Just let me refresh it. So once I refresh it, GBH rookeries, linear projects, and rapture nets, these 3 files I have loaded. Now just let's minimize it, come to my slide. So here through the pgadmin 4, I have selected the server. I have created SDB course. I have created, in my case, I have created my test. You have to verify the extension and the schemas and functions, which we have verified earlier. There were no any extension and the schema or functions were there. Add PostGIS extension. After adding the PostGIS extension, create extension PostGIS. And when you create the extension PostGIS, you will see that some of the tables, some of the extensions, some of the functions, which is around 1200 function will be created into your function part. Then there is a spatial references table, which I will show you that this is a spatial reference system table automatically installs, and it contains around 5000 coordinate references, which shows all coordinate reference system that we can use during our PostGIS operations. So these are the spatial reference IDs. Moving to that, installing QGIS. For installing QGIS, just already I have installed, but I'll show you that how to install it. Just go to particular website that you can directly click on QGIS here or type QGIS. Welcome to the QGIS project. It is open source QGIS application, and just click on for users, get the installer. Here you will get installer for your Mac operating system. You will get installer for Linux as well as other operating systems are there. So from here I have selected for the Windows, I have downloaded it, and once you download it, you will find this application that just this is the software. Go to download section. See, this is the QGIS setup. Once you download, you will find this set of files in your download section, and just run it. Within 3 to 4 minutes, your QGIS application will be installed. So here in this case, I have shown you that how to install files through the DBF exporter after creating the extension. And then another method, that is through the QGIS, we have loaded 2 files. Apart from this is the loading spatial data into PostGIS. So I have installed shape files, which is the most common exchange format for sharing the GIS data. And the format itself made up a few files such as shape or HXC or DBF files, which are the shape files are there. Loading shape file, for loading the shape file, yeah, PostGIS shape file and DBF exporter, which I have shown you that here again I'll show you. From here, just you type sh, and from here PostGIS shape file exporter, you can able to load your shape file into your PostGIS. So what we did, that view connections, check the connection, add the files, and just import it, which is the data is loaded. Then I have raster to PGSQL and shape to PGSQL. I have shown you that go to particular directory program files or the data directory, and before that you have the bin directory. In the bin directory, you will find these are the command utilities. Raster to PGSQL or shape to PGSQL will help you to load the data. And then or shape to PG exporter, which we ran, and it has an import export manager. You will view the connection, add the file, and load particular files are there. Then we have done loading spatial data into PostGIS using QGIS, either a vector data shapefile or ISRI-GEO or JSON type of a data, that just create the particular database. So I have my test data was there. Go to the SDB folder where your shape files are there. Just drag and drop to the layer panel, which we saw it, and select these three files, GBH, Rookeries, or linear project, Rapture Nest, and just then make the connection. Select database. DB Manager is a utility that will help you to connect and to import the data. So I have done the loading of GBH, Rookeries, linear projects, and Rapture Nest to my Postgres. Now, loading non-spatial data. Yes, we have the spatial data, as well as sometimes you have to do some of the operations where you have to store non-spatial data. Non-spatial data might be in a tabular format. So we have copy move commands are there in PostgreSQL that will help you to ingest the data, as well as ADB provides ADB star loader, which will help you to load the data very fast, and generally 400 times faster as compared to PostgreSQL. So let me show you that how to install or load your non-spatial data. So I'm going to load my non-spatial data by using QGIS. As I said, run the QGIS. I'm running my QGIS. Okay, just let me check here again. So I have opened my QGIS. What I will do that I'll open data source manager, that is a vector, and where I will select my files, that my non-spatial files, and non-spatial files, which is a XLS file. Excel files are there. Body surveys, rapture surveys, which is in the form of Excel data, and that might be non-spatial data might be required in coordination with the shape file, sometime for analysis and sometimes for doing operation on your spatial data. So there are three files. I'll select these three files. Already I have downloaded. I have stored any type of files you can do. I'm going to show you that how to download the shape files for your countries, shape files for your states to calculating the data, and which websites are available to download the shape files to work on that one, that I'll show you. But before that, let's see that how to install or how to load XLS files or non-spatial data files into your spatial database. I selected these three files. I'll just open it and just click on add. Once you click on add, just close this one. You will see that these three files, that is body surveys and these rapture surveys, these three files are already, you will see in the layer panel. Go to the database DB manager, and again in the DB manager, go select your and let me select the schema here. So there is a body survey. I will change the name of this non-spatial file and just click on OK. Successful. Then select the schema, import next file, that I have three XLS files are there. See, we already did this. Then body surveys, change the name. Import successful. And again select the schema, import file, go to your rapture surveys, and again change the name here. That is not compulsory, but I have loaded these 3 files. See, now I have Boli surveys, these 2 XLS files are there. That is a non-spatial data. You can see the symbols here that it's showing that in the tabular format. Table, Postgres, insert, and this is my fields. So I have Boli survey. It is again non-spatial data. GBH, it is a polygon data, multi-polygon. It's showing here. Vector projects, which multi-string, and then rapture nets, it is a point. It's showing as a point. Body nest, it is a point data, and some of the associated columns are there. Spatial ref system, I'll show you that one. So I just wanted to say here that we have loaded a spatial data, we have loaded non-spatial data to my PostGIS environment or to my PostgreSQL. I'll just close it and let me open my, yeah, this is my, I have opened multiple applications. So just, yeah, I want to see my non-spatial data. So just refresh it. When you refresh, I have some non-spatial data, that is body surveys and body surveys are there, body surveys BAE. So what I will do that I will view the data. I just click on all rows. Yeah, I have, see here, that is a tabular data, non-spatial data that might be useful, which I have loaded. Now at last, what we will do that, let me start again my SHP PostGIS shapefiles DBF exporter. One last file I want to load here. Provide your credential, PostGIS, then PG123 and my test. What is the problem? Let me close this and let me. View connection, Postgres. Provide your password. Then add file. For adding file, I'll go to the desktop, and then I have some India shape file is there. I'll select this shape file, open this, and I have added this file, change the spatial reference ID, or we'll keep as it is, not required, and just import it. So I have installed Polygon India shape file, which is multi-polygon, which is I have loaded. Just cancel it and just check it. I have India file, and I'll view the data, all rows. That is a map file is which I have loaded. Let me check again. Yeah. Then there is Andaman and Nicobar. See, these are the states. State files are there. Andhra Pradesh or Arunachal Pradesh. So these are the states in India. And what I will just wait it. I'll select here particular when I so I am able to see that particular map of particular state. Now again, I'll go here, data output. And if I say here, see, let me go downstairs. Or if I say Tamil Nadu, and so I'm able to see the particular map of Tamil Nadu, which is a multi-polygon data type. And just let me show you again another state. Yeah, I can select Maharashtra here. So I can see the particular map of Maharashtra, which I have loaded into my PostGIS data. So in this way, we have loaded multiple types of data into your environment, and you can write as well as the queries for particular that. So when I'll just, and then see some of the queries that here now which I have. See, if I want to work on a geometry field details, so I have this function select stsrid geometry type from the Boli habitat. So if I run this query, this is my spatial query. I'll copy just, and which was my table, that is a Boli habitat. So this is my Boli habitat. I will run query tool. Or best, and if I run, I can see the query, that is spatial reference ID for the geometries, particular geometries, multi-polygon, or yeah. So this is the things that I want to show you, that how I have written a query and the functions, that is a spatial functions are there on my data, that is a Boli habitat. This is a shape file which I have loaded into my PostGIS or in my PostgreSQL database. Coming to my slide. Yeah, now just open my slide. We have loaded non-spatial data. We have loaded non-spatial data, that DB survey file, Boli survey files, and we have seen that how we can view. Definitely tabular data we can store in the PostgreSQL by using copy and move, but non-spatial data, that you have to require the tools for that one. And let's say that I have rapture data is there, and I want to store my PostgreSQL. So PostgreSQL without PostGIS extension will not give the ability to store the rapture data. Yeah, below the objects are there, but you can't do any operations, or you can't use any functions, that is a GIS functions on particular data. If it is the blob objects are there, you are using PostgreSQL, and if the database is not spatially enabled, that will not support you to run the spatial queries, to do spatial operations on particular data. Then accessing PostGIS from command line and pgadmin as GIS, I have shown you that either you can run SQL queries, that you can view the data that I have shown you, as well as pgadmin, where I have shown you that India map is the states where there, like Tamil Nadu or some Maharashtra states are there. So we are able to see the map of particular states by using the pgadmin. And then we have the QGIS is there. Definitely QGIS is also helpful to view the data, and you can pass the queries in the QGIS, you can write the SQL queries, you can view the result of your GIS data. Spatial reference ID is the spatial coordinate system, and based on the angle based on Earth, as you know that on Earth it is a round Earth is there, and we can by using the projection you can find out the distance between two locations and area, and for that a spatial reference ID is required. In PostGIS, you indicate the spatial reference by number, that is a 4326, and around 5000 spatial reference numbers are there. That number corresponds to well-known text. Individual geometries can have a spatial reference, and geometry columns should have the spatial reference ID. The geometry field, yeah, geometry field is what makes the table spatial, because the geometry field shows that whether your data is of what type. So there is a binary data, could be picture, shape, or anything, and it includes spatial reference ID, which I have shown you that it's just a column, that is a geometry column, which we have seen, and that stores the features or the row of a type geometry. There are the some of the functions st underscore as take, st underscore as ewkt. So these are the functions that these functions are helpful that can output geometry as a human readable text, or the combination of geometry and the attribute that describe the geometry is known as a features. Geometry geography, if you are storing the data based on the plane surface XY axis, or any map file is there, any map or any polygon, then it is a plane surface. But geography based on the circular earth, math behind calculation is definitely complicated, and the geography is one type of a data. Let's say that two locations are there, locations from Singapore to Mumbai, both are on earth surface. That's why I have to think about the angular part. That is nothing but I have to think about longitude and latitude. That time the data might be of a geography. So it's a geometry based on the planar surface, can be a variety of coordinate reference system for that one. But for an earth, that is based on the circular earth. So I don't want to go in detail, because most of the GIS professional are already aware of this one. And I have also shown you that if I want to calculate the distance between two geometries, then I have ST distance functions are there, and many more functions for geometry, Cartesians, area, and special reference ID units for the degrees, or to calculate the perimeter of your area, perimeter of your map, or the polygon, that I have the st underscore perimeter in bracket polygon. These are the functions. These function I can inbuild with the SQL queries. I can access the data, access the geometries, which I have already shown you. So these are the some of the you can load some of the single data environment by using SQL queries. So these are some snapshot I want to show you. Yeah, we have seen the data visualizations by using QGIS. You just go to the particular schema, select it, and view the data. You will see that particular data in the geometry fashion. Getting started geometry. So here is an select. This is the I have the functions which I am working on a geometry. Another functions, PostGIS functions which are working on a geometry. So I can see the result. I can find out the location. I can find out the distance between particular location, calculate the area, calculate the perimeter. So different requirement as per my GIS analysis or different requirement on my PostGIS. I can do operation on my GIS data by using this type of functions provided by PostGIS. Yeah, many more functions, which is you can see on the screen. So that is from my side. So thank you very much. Yeah, please go ahead for the question and answer session. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mansur, for the insightful session and the demo. We have a few questions lined up. Unfortunately, we have only 4 minutes to answer these questions. So we will cover whatever number of questions we can. And all the other questions we will answer via emails. So if anybody has any questions, please post them in the Q&A session and we will reach out to you via email. So Mansur, the first question is, what is the difference between PostGIS data type and BigQuery ML data type API running in variants with GCP Kubernetes pod instance VM in browser?
BigQL. So BigQL is it is one of the database that is a big data types. blob objects are there, and that you can't work with the help of a PostGIS function. So that is the difference, that you cannot write PostGIS functions on this type of data that you are asking.
The next question is, can we view tabular format data or any non-spatial data into spatial data format in PostgreSQL?
Yeah, we can see the tabular data, that you just write the query on a tabular data, because Postgres SQL is an RDBMS, relational database management system. So if any tabular data, definitely you can see, but the spatial data or non-spatial data, definitely you can see. But the spatial data, for viewing the spatial data, you should have some particular functionalities, that is the PostGIS extension that is required if you want to see the spatial data. So you have to create extension on top of PostgreSQL, which is a PostGIS extension, and that will help you to view the data.
Thank you. The next question is, can you also explain how to create or define custom SRID for coordinate systems like non-Earth or for Cartesian data?
Yeah, for that, different mechanisms are there. I'll suggest you, I can write in a separate through the mail, but just go on PostGIS GIS site. So there is a documentation. That documentation will help you for this purpose.
The next question is, can we use QGIS for raster data?
Yeah, definitely. We can use QGIS for raster data.
And how can we load raster data from the command line?
Raster to PGSQL, I have shown you that. Just go into program files, then PostgreSQL and bin directory. You will find out that raster to PGSQL. So open your command prompt, run the raster to PGSQL. There are different options are there. By using these options, you can load raster to PGSQL data.
Thank you, Mansur. So that brings us towards the end of the session. There are a few questions that we could not answer, but we have noted the questions down, and we will write to you with on your emails. So thank you, Mansur, for the session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. As discussed, we will soon share the recording along with the slides with all of you. So thank you. Have a very good day.
Thank you.